Hey, how's everyone out there doing this morning? This is the marvelous Mel Kelly, who you see waving to you right now. He is the author of these two fantastic books, one of which inspired this show because I was like, Mel, dating disasters is not limited to you or Ireland or Germany. Dating disasters are international, and we should start a show and we should talk about it. So, welcome, Mel Kelly.
Thank you so much, Amy. It's a pleasure and a privilege to be here with the amazing Amy Hamilton, the author, amazing author of two amazing books, The Consummate Communicator and The Project Manager. So looking forward to another great session today to talk about an extremely important topic, which is investing. How much do you invest in a relationship and when?
Well,
Amy.
before we do that, there's something I need to talk about just for a quick second. And that is this weekend has been really amazing for me. I'm super excited about the book launch for Hold My Crown, which has been taking place locally here in the DC area. And it's an amazing compilation book from 20 different women all across the world. And it really talks about different struggles that people had to overcome. And if you're interested in that, definitely check it out. It's available on Amazon. And just a shout out to those 20 amazing women who I've had the privilege to spend the weekend with. Really just exciting thing. And with that, Mel, I'm invested in this book. I'm invested in our show. I can't believe we're at episode 40 already. And so it took us a while to get to this point, though. When are you investing too early?
You could get those women to invest in watching this show and get some great dating tips.
Trust me, after this weekend, we've got material to last for a long time. So I love having this amazing tribe of women out there. I appreciate it.
If they've had struggles before, we can give them more struggles to look forward to.
As a matter of fact, it is fascinating because people ask me for stuff, and I'm like, you realize it's a bad dating tip show. Like, we're not giving you good advice here. I mean, if you really want to pose in your profile picture with your snake, you go for it. But, there is some truth in satire. And I have been told that that line you said, it was one of our earliest episodes when you're like, one of the most fragile things in the world is the male ego. I mean, that's definitely resonated with people, Mel, and I don't know if you know that.
They're the words of wisdom. The words of wisdom.
But how do you know in a relationship, are you investing too early? Is this really, and what is investing too early?
What is investing too early? I mean, this is it. So when do you go? I mean, do you on the second date start talking about the missalettes that you're going to be having in the chapel ceremony, in the church ceremony for your wedding? Start talking about the design. I mean, this was one of the classics from Sex and the City. This was, what was her name, Charlotte, and she was, visualizing her marriage ceremony after the second date. Do you need to be at that level of investment? God damn it, why not? If the guy is not ready for it, move on to the next one.
So I don't know, Mel. I think that there's got to be a balance between investing too much and investing too early. I will say I went on a second date with a guy, and it goes both ways. And he said, tell me how you would prefer to be loved. And I was like, whoa, like, I'm out, dude. Like, I'm not, like, second date. Like, this is not where I'm at right now. And this was a few years ago, right? So, I mean, but I was just definitely like, I would just like some basic courtesies here. I'm not ready to, like, devolve my soul at this point. Divulge my soul. So I was just like, no, this isn't going to happen. So,
Yes.
it definitely happens on both sides.
Yes. I remember back as a friend of mine, and she went on a date with a guy, 15 dates with him, and they never kissed. But he was buying her drinks and dinners and all this great stuff for 15 dates. He was very interested in her. She wasn't interested in him, not romantically. But she went on 15 dates with him. He invested so much in this woman. And, well, it didn't go anywhere. It's like,
that's kind of called friendship at that point.
But he was romantically interested. Like, wrong about he's going to be friends with her, but he was romantically interested. He was trying to woo her. And he invested 15 romantic dates where he bought dinner and drinks, and all that time.
Why didn't she let him know she wasn't interested? That's kind of using somebody at a certain point.
Well, I cannot say I am the one to talk to when it comes to trying to understand the female mind,
This seems like a bad dating advice. Like about date 3, if you're not feeling it, you need to be honest and say like, and this guy's probably scarred and is the same guy now who has a problem taking women out because he feels used from this relationship.
Well, it wasn't even a relationship. He was trying to woo her, and he invested, let's say, 15 dinners and 15 evenings, 15 dinners, and 15 whatever wines and drinks and dinner. And, he didn't even get to kiss the woman. But, he should have known. He should have known after 2, 3, 4 times of trying to do that. And if it was, somehow no investment coming back from the other side, well, that's.
Now, you bring up a great point on that reciprocal investment. I mean, there's some wisdom in what you're saying there.
Jesus.
Is,
No. I think you should go for those 15 dates and invest with it.
Go for the same energy that you're getting back. I think that's a super important thing is, like seriously, not even a bad dating tip is, when you're out with someone, if they're not investing back in you, if they can't make the time to call you, whatever, on the other hand, maybe that's what you want. Maybe you want that part-time relationship because you're too busy in your own life. And that's fair too, right? So like, what are you willing to invest? And then is it coming back to you the same way?
Well, that nearly sounds like good advice.
I know. Well, I can give good advice. You're the bad advice. But this came from you. You talked about this whole reciprocity and that he should have eventually realized, like, there's a certain point when you're like, okay, why am I pouring all my effort into somebody? And it's very, like, it's that unrequited love, right?
Yeah.
Which, maybe that's what you're looking for is a bit of tragedy, from
unrequited love.
Yes.
Well, you can have unrequited love with the wall, couldn't you? Or with the mirror. I mean, you want to give yourself a bit of a chance of getting some requited love, wouldn't you?
There's a lot of psychology behind that, but I think it's it's very interesting because you bring up the investment. Like I look at even the first date as the investment. Like, am I willing to, leave my house and put on makeup, and hopefully I've put on makeup before I've left my house, and like put on nice clothes and do all this kind of effort. Because there's like a lot of prep work into going out for a date.
Okay. I see. For me, I take it that's no effort because women look like that all the time.
Yes, we wake up looking like this. It's a trick we have.
Exactly. Well, that's what I think.
That reminds me of that show, Mrs. Maisel. When they first start off on the episodes, she actually gets up and out of the bed as soon as her husband turns out the light. And then she gets ready for bed. And then she lays down. And then she gets up like 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever before he's going to wake up so that she can look really great and have all her makeup and stuff on. And then she wakes up like, oh, I wake up like this, And it's just very funny because you're like, who does this? And was this ever an expectation?
Of course not. So investing. And what about you? I mean, what about so how much should you invest and how reciprocal is what we're saying here is sort of investing to the same level.
Yeah, but I think it's okay to recognize too, if you look at the love languages and things, like your reciprocity might be different. So if I like a guy, one of the things I'll do is, we've taught him a bit more traditional. I like for a guy to take me out for a few dates, but like as we've gotten to know each other, then I feel like there's certain things I can do that are like much more traditional, like do a home cooked meal for somebody.
Okay.
Or maybe like if I'm not quite at the point of having them to my house, maybe I'll be like, let's do a picnic someplace and, make like a really nice charcuterie board and everything with some wine. And that's where I think it's more like that reciprocity, where now I'm showing and I'm investing back as opposed to your friend who had 15 dates where the guy always paid, right? Like now I'm showing like, yes, maybe I'm a traditionalist and I'm not going to pay for a meal, but I will definitely treat you special and do something for you that gives you an incentive to continue this courtship.
Beautiful.
You're just like beautiful. You're like, I have a Hallmark moment.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. That brings a tear to my eye nearly. So, so to summarize, investment. Be careful. Invest. Look for reciprocity.
No, I thought you said go for 15 dates and just unrequited love. Just do that. That's fine. Who cares about reciprocity? Just keep once in for a penny, in for a pound. Just go all in.
Yes, exactly.
Ask the second date. Just pop the question if you're interested, and you'll see where you go. Have that diamond ready. Okay, Mel, what are we talking about on our next show?
Oh, we have a fantastic topic next time. It's talking about holidays and vacations together. Oh, the real acid test for a new relationship. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so I think in Europe they're often called like mini breaks, right? Like, but it's coming to later spring, early summer. People get away for those like little getaway weekends and stuff. And so, what happens when you're at the point in a relationship where you're ready to go on your first mini break together?
Exactly. We're going to find out next week the words of wisdom that we have on that topic.
I cannot wait to hear your bad advice. Remember, guys, have the ring ready. Second date. That's what we want. I'll talk to you next week, Mel.